det som sånn basic mellom alle universitetene. Det fikk avslutt sånn, nei, måtte ha bachelorfag, så skrev jeg det kanskje litt sånn. Ja, kanskje jeg kan finne noen andre utvekslingsstudenter, så kan de lese sammen i stedet for å dra på forelesning.
Good. So we can start the second half. Sorry, it's a short break, but we can just make it very fast. So this is a different type of variables that you will deal with. Ah, sorry. We have numbers, and this is 3 type or 4 type of variables. It's integer, float, long, and complex. We will not deal with the complex in our course, but we will deal with the integer and the long and the float. And then we have string, which is text. And then we have something called list. We have something called tuple, which is we just tested before the break. We have something called dictionary, and we have something called boolean, which is true and false. Okay, this is more or less the things that we will deal with during the course, or if you would like to create your program or AI code or whatever you want, you will deal with this 6 variables. Great. So now I would like you now you understand what's the difference between the numbers, which is the integer, the long, and the float. You understand the difference between the number and the strings, but what's the difference between list, tuple, and dictionary? Boolean is simple, it's true and false, right? So what's the difference between these 3 things? Just in 1 minute. And then so we need to see what's the difference between the different variables, and then how we can convert variable to variable from type to type. And then we will cover by the end sort of not exercise, will not be a home assignment, but it will be sort of heating up. Good. This is a number. This is a integer thing. So if we wrote var1 equal to 1, it will create a space. This space called var1, variable 1, and it will be integer, and it will include 1. If we say var2, it will create another space called 2 var2. It will be integer, and it will include 10. Easy. Questions? No questions. Now we can delete, actually. We can delete variable. Can play together, why not? Now we have A, B, and C, right? You don't need A anymore. You can just say del just 1 second. A is not defined. Why? Okay. Defined in the code. Okay. Sorry. And this is a problem, because if we wrote it here, it will delete it. If we wrote it here, del so if we wrote it in the shell, it's automatically deleted for me. But if you wrote it in the script, you need to define it before. Okay, so we would need to find it first. Okay, and then maybe I can just comment this one just to recreate A. So now we have A again in the system, and then now I can delete it. We can test it. Print A. Okay, A is not existing. Good. So we can go to the next step. So now you can create, you can delete. We have in the numbers, we have 4 types: integer, long, float, and complex. And this is the difference between the different of them. So integer is plus and minus. We have minus value, and it's almost small. And then long is very long, and it's only positive. There is no minus. Float, it has this decimal, and complex, it has this imaginary number, or this square root of -1. Well, now we can get part of a string. We can define part of a string. So for example, we can have this one. Now we create a string called hello world. Okay, it's here. And now I would like to know exactly what's the first number, and or what is the first letter and what is the last letter. So actually we can go and we can get a letter or part of letter or part of the sentence according to the definition. So actually here the edge of the hello is 0. So, and the last letter is -1. Okay? No. 1. So now I say copy. Now I say create string called variable called instead of string we can leave it as a string, no problem. And then put a value called hello world in it and the print string. What the result will be when I run this code?
It will be string.
Yeah, but it will not. No, I didn't ask for the type. I asked print the string.
So you ask for a value.
Yes.
Which is hello world.
Hello world. Yep. Easy peasy. So you see here hello world. Good. So now I will ask not for the string, but I will ask for the value equal to 0 in the string, which should be
H.
the first letter, H. Because the first letter in the string is 0.
Okay, so that's
Just to understand, first letter is 0. Okay, if we run it, okay, print hello world, the first things, and then the first letter is H. Great, good. Now I would like not to print the first letter, I would like to print the last letter. Okay, so the last letter is -1. Make sense? So -1, the last letter, it's give us the last letter in sentence or our string. If we say, for example, I need from position 2 to position 5. Okay? What you expect from position 2 to position 5? So position 2, this is 0, 1, 2, so the L, the first L will be position 2, and then we can count 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so from L to the W. Okay? So we can say just run this code, you see, actually not from the W, okay, it's to the 1, 2, 3, this is from 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, the 5 is the space. So actually, here there is one character more, which is the space. It's L, L, O plus space. Okay, so if we write it for example, instead of 5, 6, okay, 7, no, it's two space actually. Questions?
0 is H.
0 is H, yes. So the first thing in your data is 0. And this will come for everything after that. So when we work with lists, the first cell is 0.
So it's not equivalent to the size, because when you see the one that says, for example, name, John, it's 4 letters.
Yes?
And the size says 4.
Yes?
But it will only be 0, 1, 2, 3.
Yes. So 0, 1, 2, 3 is index. It's just index.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder why they count the space as 2.
Actually, it's 2. This
But,
one, it doesn't work.
But what? Yeah, but why do they count it as 2? Is all spaces 2? Because when I wrote it, for example, I wrote with 1 space,
And then,
and then it's the same.
Give
so
the
they
same,
count it
okay.
as 2. So is every space 2?
no, it should not.
Okay.
But I can explore this. I can
Yeah,
give you
okay.
answer later. It should not. It should be the same.
Mm.
Okay? So we have to just make difference between the index and the length. So the length, as you said, for example, for John, it's 4, the length 4 letter. Okay? But when we index it, the first letter is 0, second letter is 1, third letter is 3, 2, and then 3. Okay?
So in this string there are like 12 positions if you include the space.
Yep.
And the last position is both 12 and -1.
Yes.
Okay.
You can define the last position as -1, it will give you the result, or 12, it will give you the result. Okay? And again, the index always starts with 0. When we work now with lists, 0, this means the first variable in a list, or the first value in a list. Okay? So we can go to the next example just to go through different things. And here actually I need to highlight something Shabi told me to highlight. You see here, please, when you start to write your code, of course during the weekend you will just play around, but when you start to deal with your data, you need to add this comments. So you can write this this mark, and then you can follow it with what would you like to send. This is variable to do blah 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 blah. But this is very important, because once you start to write hundreds of lines, we will forget what this, and it will be a mess. So you need to add comment with everything. Here, for example, if we say print the value plus test, what do you think it will give? If we say this, if we go here, we just comment this one, we don't need it anymore. We will comment this one, we don't need it anymore. And then we'll add this one. Okay. What do you think it will give us?
Probably.
Again?
Add the test to the hello world.
Yeah, add test to the hello world. Okay. But it will be one, like test, it will be like just after the hello world. There is no space in between. So we can test it. Good. If we just add a space here, just add a small space here, and then run it again, it will give us the same result, but just give space here. Okay, and if, for example, we say we need to duplicate it, we can duplicate it. So print string twice. Just comment this one. Okay, this will give you hello world 2 times. Hello world, hello. Good. Need to go a bit faster because the difficult part is still coming out. Okay, this is the result. Now we will go to the lists. Okay, what's the list? The list is something like the array in C. So it's like a variable that include values, different values. And you define it with this square brackets. With this square brackets. So I will give you again, if you would like to define a value within this list, you define it with 0, which is the first variable, and then -1 is the last one. So any indexing in Python is 0 to -1. I will give you that. So here, simple, I will ask the program to create 2 lists. One of them is list, and the second one is tiny list. Okay? And in the first one, in this list, I ask him to create different variables, A, B, C, D as a text, and then number, and then float, and another string, and then another float. And for the tiny list, we have just a number, integer, and text. So we can ask it. Okay? Yep. Go create it. It should be somewhere here. So this is the tiny test list. And if we go up for the list, this is the list. Okay?
Why does the size say 5?
Because it's 5 variables. 5 values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But it's the size within John is 4.
Yeah, but John is text, string, but this is list. It's different. Yeah, because we said we have different type of variables, right? So if we say string, just because of the people who are there, if we say, for example, create string that equal to John, it will have this one, and the program will index this 0, 1, 2, 3.
But we also have to put it into the
Of
quotation
course.
mark.
Yeah. Good. And if we say create a list that include number 5.3 and then include John and include Oslo as a city, it will create this variable, and all of this number will be value 0, all of this 1, it will be 1, all of this 1, it will be position 2. Okay?
But numbers, they have only one size.
Yes. Yep. Questions?
I was just wondering about the what you call the double goose signs for A, B, C, D, and John. Do you have to have them, or
This one?
because they also come up in the table? So do you have to have them, or?
Ah, yes, you have to have it.
Okay.
Because this mean, this is string.
Okay.
And you can use it like 1 quota or 2 or 3. So you can write it like this with 2, or you can it with 1, or you can it with 3.
Is there a difference?
No,
Okay.
it's the same. So sometime you find me write it here, I wrote it with just 1, sometime I write it with 2. Also, okay. Now we try to index, just to define the index, to see where is what. So we can just go, not print list, we don't need to print the list, but we need to print maybe this one. Here it will print list 0. What the result will be? The expected result?
A, B, C, D.
A, B, C, D. And here, print 1, 2, 3.
786.
Yep,
2.23
super,
and John.
super. Ah, actually, they didn't consider John. Because it's 1, 2, the last number is not considered. 1 and 2. So it's a count until the one just before this. So
That-
1 and 2.
Is that maybe why the space also becomes
Exactly.
2? Okay.
This is the reason. Because it's count until this one. If we say here 4, it will count 1, 2, and 3. So 4, 1, 2, and 3.
Is there a symbol you can use to, like, from and to,
To the end,
or from and including 3?
I don't think so. I think you need to add like, because the last one is not included in the definition. So you need to increase 1. And this is why the last number is equal to minus 1. Good? If we say, for example, from 1 to like this, what the result will be? All except
ABC.
0. all except 0. So if we say like this, all except 0. Good. And again, with the list, we can duplicate, and we can here we can twice it, and we can actually print two lists together. If you like, I would like to print this. Okay. Let's print this list and another list, which is Pennywise, which include 1, 2, 3, and John again. We can create a new list called new list. And this is equal to will create a new list called new list, and will add both lists in it. You see, the new list include A, B, C, and you see here there is something very interesting. It's automatic define. A, B, C is a string, 6, 8, 8, 6, it's integer. This one with float, it's float. John is a string, this is float, this is integer, this is string again. So actually each point or each data, piece of data within the list is defined with the value.
So when I create a list,
It can be mixed.
Python will always contain the information about the singular elements that I put into the list. And how can I access it? How did you do this that you do now?
You can, the same type. You can write print type, for example. You can test it together, why not?
Okay.
Just try. For example, print, and then I need the type. Okay, I need the type of what? I need the type of new list. Right? But not all new lists. I need the type of the new list, the index number 0. Okay, run, string. So I tell the program, go to print me the type. Type of what? New list, but not all new list, because if I said new list, it will give me list. The type is list, because it's list. But I need the type of the new list, the value that include in position number 0, which is this one. And it's simple. If I said position number 1, which will be position number 1, this is the new list here. This is the new list. Position number 1, this is 0, this is position number 1. The result will be integer. Okay, run. It's integer. Make sense? Make sense. Let me just check this because it's too deep.